Welcome to another episode of the Muffed Punt podcast. My name is Brandon, and tonight we have a very, very special night. I've been debating about this for about over a week now, what to call this episode. I was trying to think, the first thing that came to mind was the people versus the Dallas Cowboys. Another was a Dallas Cowboys fan versus everyone. I've had a few different ideas for what I'm thinking about maybe possibly entitling this episode. So tonight, what we have decided was Paul told me a long time ago when he found out one of my very good friends in life was a Dallas Cowboys fan. The question always is, well, if you're an Eagles fan, how can you have one of your best friends in life be a Cowboys fan? And I said, well, one, you got to meet him. And two, he'll explain it to you. He'll tell you all for himself. And Paul's like, I want at this guy. I want my chance to talk to him. So I was like, all right, we'll make that happen. So I talked to Jose after I got through all my hell with Dell. We finally have been able to put all this together. So what I'm going to end up doing, because we've already done our hellos off air here, but I got Paul, I have Ralph, I have Terry, and I have Jose with me here tonight. And thank you, Jose, for coming out to the show because, you know what, it does take a lot to stand up to a bunch of other guys that defend your fandom for any particular team. So I do appreciate you coming out.
Oh, yeah, no worries, man. Doing something that I've done my entire life. No problem.
Well, that's kind of your fault.
The lawn?
Well, it's really my parents. It's my dad. It's really my dad's fault. I'm not going to lie. Started there.
Well, it's kind of your fault for living in Eagles territory because you kind of do live in the backyard of the Philadelphia Eagles, and you're probably one of maybe two Cowboys fans that I know of, and the other one too. So it's kind of interesting to me, because I've been in that situation when I went to college. I was the only Flyers fan for miles. I was surrounded by Devils fans, and but they were fairly nice to me for the most part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn things over to Paul tonight, because Paul has basically told me what he wants to do is try to convince Jose to drop the Cowboys and to not be a Cowboys fan any longer. I told Paul I tried this before, not with the Cowboys, but with hockey and the Flyers, and I almost got you.
It was close.
I almost got you.
The amount of respect I have for that team now is unreal. Remember, I used to shit talk. Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine, dude. You can say what you want.
Hell out of them. Man. And now I actually have two teams I follow. Actually, I call you on it. I'm like, dude, you watching that?
Yeah.
That?
So I'm going to turn things over to Paul and let him kind of take the lead here. I do have my own notes that I want to chime in here and my own kind of way that I'll do it towards the end of how things go. But I want to kind of give Paul the lead on this and see where he goes with it. So take her away, Paul.
All right. So, Jose, I hope you're a good girl and that you're ready for this because I don't think that you're going to be a Cowboys fan much longer.
Hit me with your best shot you can. Let's go.
All right. So, this is a really interesting time to do this because it was last week that we actually brought up riding out the rough times, with your team as part of a fan base, or if you jump ship and be a little bitch and go run somewhere else. So if you jump ship and run and be a bitch somewhere else after this, man, I'm going to judge all Cowboys fans for you. So you've got an entire fandom on your shoulders tonight. So I really hope you're ready for this.
Good luck, man.
I think he's ready.
All right. So what's your first memory as a Cowboys fan? If you had to go back, when did you start being a Cowboys fan? Do you have a year or a time frame?
Man, I was a young boy. I had to be kindergarten age. So 5, 6, when I think I put on the very first T-shirt that had a star on it.
Okay. What year was that? Ish. Was that before or after they started winning Super Bowls?
I was born in 82, so you're talking 87. We were in between.
Right in between.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the first Super Bowl for the Cowboys that you remember then?
Cowboys Giants.
Cowboys Giants.
Yeah, it was a big deal. It was at my Uncle Ralph's house. He was my grandfather, the oldest of the elders of my family. First guy to have a big screen TV.
Nice. So where were you at this point? Were you from Texas or did you always grow up in the Philly area?
Who, me?
Yeah. No, I'm asking the other guys who I know are from Philly if they're from Philly. What the hell do you think?
I'm just wondering where you got the intel that I was from Texas when you know I'm from the East Coast.
No, because he's saying
I
you're a
didn't
Cowboys
know you were
fan.
from the East. Yeah, I didn't
That's
know you were
why.
from the East
Oh,
Coast.
okay. I was like, I'm a little confused. All right.
No,
Yeah.
there you go.
So, all right. So, how did it become that everyone was a Cowboys fan if all y'all are from the East Coast?
How did my family become a Cowboys fan?
Yeah, because you said your dad brought you into it. So, like, why the Cowboys? If you're on the East Coast, you're surrounded by I-95 teams. Why the Cowboys?
Was it solely your dad that got you into it?
I'm going to tell you, it went like this. It went 50-50 down the line. You got half my family that are diehard birds. Does not matter. These people won't crack. And the other half are diehard Cowboys fans that are the exact same way. And that has rippled through my entire life, my dude. Even my wife is a diehard Eagles fan. I'm talking white paint on the face, green on the side, you name it. So I don't know. I could have went either side there on that, blue or green. But
do your kids care about sports at all?
Man, you kidding me? The next generation? I don't even think they know what passion. Are you kidding me? For real?
I was just curious if they had any allegiances where they lied. That's all.
Yeah, they got allegiances. They got allegiances to which parent talks the most mierda, the most shit. Who wins that argument? All of a sudden, I see more blue come out in the world. I'm like, oh, I lose that shit. All of a sudden, my house is green. I'm like, okay, Mom won that. I know I lost.
So you're married to an Eagles fan. So how long have you guys been about to be divorced?
We've been about 20 years. That's about accurate. That's about 20 years.
20 years on the verge of divorce. That is crazy.
But only for 16 weeks. It's a year. Guaranteed though for 16 weeks.
That's very true. For 16 weeks. I know that Dallas isn't used to playing in the postseason, so that is about how long the season is for you guys. So that's very accurate. I'm very impressed.
Man, you must do a lot of ass.
What?
You because the rest of us, Yucatan, have been watching the same NFL stank ass teams in our conference for the last probably decade. And I'm like, bro, what did you just say? None of us. They're just as bad.
Just as bad. The Eagles just won a Super Bowl a couple of years ago.
Thank you for the first time in their lives. Like, for real, dude, they're just as bad. And then you gave away the star quarterback. You gotta be shitting me.
Does that leave that's a good point. Does that Ralph, God. Terry, and Brandon, does that leave a welt on your ass? Like to know that you had a quarterback, he's
Do you
benched?
know how badass that is to put up a statue of a quarterback and then make your next starting weapon?
I'll answer the question if you like, but Paul, are you going to let him change the subject that fast?
I'm going to go back to it, but I mean, at some point, I don't know. You guys should know this by now. I love going out on tangents, so shit, we'll make our way back, digress at some point, but if he's going to talk shit about the Eagles, I got to go with that.
I'm not talking shit.
Shut up. He's talking shit about the Eagles. Jose, Princess, quiet.
You gotta upgrade me to at least queen. Come on, man. Give me the kingdom. You got it. You got it.
Princess.
Come on.
Be a good girl.
Come on.
Be a good girl.
You can stand. You're gonna make me pray by that. You're gonna make me pray by the holy water. Don't make me pray by the holy river. Come on, man.
Sit.
Jesus.
Be a good girl. Sit down.
Oh my God, he doesn't know.
You know what I've learned so far?
I can't wait to hear.
Jose's family's like the Hatfields and McCoys, that half the family went to the Eagles, half the family went to the Cowboys.
Yeah. Shit, man. I'm telling you. It makes no sense. Everybody's like, I love you. I love you. Thanksgiving, they're like, I'll murder you.
Look, this is probably just so volatile because somewhere back, Jose and I are probably like cousins 8 times removed or something like that. All right. It's just family banter at this point.
I don't know, bro. You sound tall. Are you tall?
I don't know what you consider tall, but
anything over 4'2".
Anything over, yeah. And you get on the roller coaster at Six Flags, my dude.
Yes, I can.
Are you
6 feet?
Are you like 5'2", right?
Is that Jose?
Yeah.
He's got to wait for the words to
listen,
no,
I definitely got to 5'4", and then God was like, that's it, bud.
Okay,
5'4". That's adorable. That's adorable. You should have gone into gymnastics. You might have been pretty good.
I got close to something like that. You'll see. It's cool. It was fun. It got stress out. It did.
Hey, he's one of the best boxers I know.
I got close, but I went into dancing. It was a toss-up.
I want to see videos of you dancing, or I won't believe it.
I'm pretty sure I have some videos of him dancing at my wedding.
Okay, then Brandon, you're going to send those to me after the show.
Those.
I also have videos of Ralph dancing at my wedding, too.
That did not exist.
I will never do this podcast again.
Ralph, it's okay. You're white. We get it. You can't dance, but I got to see the little. I got to see the little short Puerto Rican to see if he can dance.
Paul, you don't know about the Ralphinator.
No, he did not.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, he does not. Yeah.
Ralph's got his own theme song, dude.
Really?
Yes.
I feel like we need to go into this.
You don't know shit about the Ralphinator.
Yo, and this guy's supposed to convert me? Yo, this guy's Bible.
Wait, how did this
Jesus.
shit for me? You got... talking about Puerto Ricans and Cowboys fans, and now it's on me.
Ralph, you brought this on yourself.
Hey,
You're the one
somebody
that said, "Don't bring this
I'm
in."
just defending your honor. Somebody said you couldn't dance. I'm just saying you can cut a rug.
Bro, why? Ralph can haul ass. You kidding me?
Ralph and I held down the dance floor single-handedly, the two of us, for quite a while at the wedding.
I'm gonna need to see, videos, or it didn't happen.
There was elevators, there was lawnmowers, there was sprinklers.
It got real.
It got real. There was shopping carts, all kinds of shit came out.
I'm gonna need
What
to
he
see
means
this.
by there were lawnmowers was there was a lot of alcohol.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You can't say that around us Hispanics, because then we'd think that someone just had to mow the lawn in between because you guys were dancing for a long time or something.
Oh, that's just Yucatan because I'm 2/3 down, Papa. I got white in me, so we're good. That's just it.
I'm staying out of that.
Sorry about that.
That's just it. I didn't hear a single lawnmower spark up at all. I got a shot.
There's no way you're that low to the ground and haven't heard a lawnmower before. There's no way.
He's only mowed 2/3 of the lawn.
Listen, I believe in everybody's independence. I pay one of your people for that, brother.
He does pay a guy to mow his grass. I've seen it.
Papa, I believe in equal rights. I support single mothers at strip clubs. Yeah, come on. Everybody's loved in America.
That's the equal opportunity love right there.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna bring this back now. What a little far off field here.
Please do.
I'm still wondering how I'm supposed to leave behind. I'm like, dude, if my wife couldn't do it and one of my best friends in the world couldn't do it, how's Yucatan gonna do it? But I don't know.
We're just getting started.
All right, we're gonna go in. Do you remember the Herschel Walker trade? Like, were you a fan back then? Were you paying attention, or do you have thoughts on it now as an adult looking back, way back?
Yes.
All right, let's hear it.
I know. I remember the trade. I really have thoughts. I mean, it was a long time ago. I could really care less. I was young.
Really? So looking back and saying that those '90s Cowboys teams are part of the reason why you're such a fan and you don't care for the reason that got them all there?
Well, no. There's plenty of reasons that got them there, bro. We were like the Make-A-Wish team. You kidding me? Every year we got beat. Why do you think freaking I can get along with Eagles fans? It's very clear. It's the same pattern. We went 20 years, nothing. Every year close. Got there, nope. Got Green Bay. Shit, first year we made it there. It was what, 66? Here's Green Bay. There goes on that. 7 points, go suck a duck. Okay, fine. Next year, right back there. And here's Green Bay again. Look at the last 5 years with Green Bay. It's a repeat. It's the same thing with the Eagles. They sucked for so many years. They just got a Super Bowl win. You got to give them some love. Shit, it was remarkable football to watch.
Okay, so you're bringing up the Packers a little bit. So what do you think about Fez Bryant's drop in the playoffs the other, back when that happened?
It's pretty tough considering the NFL does now consider that a catch.
Yeah, but how many times have every team has gone through that, dude? Before we had playbacks and all these new modern whoopee, kind of rules that we roll by, everybody got beat on stuff like that. So, I mean, it was part of the game.
Fair enough. I actually really respect that because Having San Antonio is Dallas's second biggest market of fans. I was living there at the time, and wow, those bitches did not shut up.
No, I know.
I swear, you would have thought that someone slapped their mother or something. Like it was insane.
Slapped her mother. Poor mom.
Pass interference in the game before that against Detroit. Nobody remembers that play, do they?
But again,
I'm not a Lions fan. Why would I care?
Somebody phone a friend. Get a Detroit Lions friend.
Does anybody have a friend that's a Detroit Lions fan?
No, but I have
looking for a while.
I have a friend who sent me a meme today of someone climbing out of a dumpster, and it said Matt Stafford getting out of Detroit. So
yeah. Well, we're about to see if he's going to have his career resurrected.
And he's going to. It'll be fine.
Listen, but they gave me cool things along the way. You get players, along the way that kind of make you go, wow. We had some good MVPs along the years I've been alive, and we had them beforehand. You get a guy like Too Tall Jones. You hear? Dude, for real? When you're 5'4" and you got a guy that's that tall, yeah, all right, get down, sure. Yeah, we had a lot of different. We went to the Super Bowl a lot. We had like 9 straight runs at it for several years. I mean, at least twice in our career that we've gone to it. The Eagles had a great run under Andy Reid, so you guys got rid of that talent. I'm sorry, guys. Look, I hate the Eagles, but you got to respect them. And you guys got rid of a lot of good people, man. I just don't understand your picks and trades.
Well, if you're going to go down the Andy Reid train, unfortunately his foibles with his personal life and all the stuff that's gone on with his kids, which he's actually dealing with now in Kansas City as well. I think that had just kind of run its course with the whole Philadelphia thing. And I think if they had allowed him to take a year off and then come back, I really think that he would have been able to just come back to coaching and pick up where he left off. But I mean, I don't know any organization that probably would have allowed him to do that, but he had so much stuff going on that year in his personal life.
Okay. So that's a fun little what if. That's a fun little what if. So do you think Andy Reid wins a Super Bowl with the Eagles, given that he didn't really have personnel control in Philly?
Yeah, looking back on it now and all the bullshit we're dealing with Howie, yeah. I doubt it. What do the other two Eagles fans think?
I think it's definitely possible that because he was kind of had some control at the time when he left, because he drafted Fletcher Cox.
Yes.
So
guy's an animal.
Love the guy, but as far as Andy, I mean, I think he could have gotten it done for us, but I agree with Brandon. He had kind of run his course in Philly, and I think it was time for a little change of coaching culture. He had been with the team for so long, and a lot of the guys that were there for the 2000s, they had all aged out or they were done. And I think at that point, Lurie wanted to start over fresh. Unfortunately, he picked the worst guy in Chip Kelly to do it.
My God. Guys,
but that actually wasn't even a bad hire at the time.
But Terry, he's going to revolutionize the NFL, man.
Oh my God.
His as much as I hate the guy, his record wasn't that bad in the at least for the Eagles.
Not when he went to the Niners.
No, well, and then up until now in college, they can't even get recruits there because of him. But when the Chiefs were making their run, I was rooting for Andy, of course, but it just didn't work out here. So, there's no hard feelings from me on that one.
Interesting. What are your thoughts, Ralph?
Look, I always thought Andy Reid could have won a Super Bowl with the Eagles. I mean, 4 NFC championship games in a row.
Bing, bing, bing.
5 in total going back to 2008. I always felt like from the years, I guess, 02 through 04, they were one play, maybe one player away from making something happen. I mean, I go back to the 04 Super Bowl, and you got Terrell Owens on half a lower body, and still racking up 120 some yards on 9 or 10 catches and being within 3 points. I mean, you lose that game 24-21. I mean, it was heartbreaking for me at the time. And to see that team and to see the organization go through what they went through, Everybody's very well aware of Andy Reid off the field stuff with his kids. If they would have hung on to him a little bit longer, would anything have changed? I don't know, because you're talking revisionist history, you're talking hindsight's 2020, you're talking all of it. I agree with what Brandon said, where his time in Philly ran its course. I think when you hear about these things and you hear it was time for the organization and Andy to split, but nobody talks about the fans in that regard. And I think the fans had a lot to do with this as well, because there was an uprising, there was an undertone, a murmuring that slowly grew into full-on hatred for this man. And it was like, he's got to go. He's he's never going to do it. He's just going to get you to the edge and then not finish. And that's really what we lived for, 13 years. Do I think he could have gotten us there? Yeah, I think he could. I really do. I think if you gave him control of more things in the end. We've obviously seen what he's done in Kansas City. I mean, he was trying to implement some of the stuff in Kansas City when he was with Philly. I mean, Deshaun Jackson and Tyreek Hill are like version 1.0 and version 2.0, right? Michael Vick and Patrick Mahomes are 1.0, 2.0. So you can draw comparisons to what Andy was trying to do. I just think he was, dare I say, ahead of his time. And I don't think that the players existed yet to do what he wanted them to do. So I think, this is my opinion, we screwed up by letting Andy walk and getting rid of him. Hindsight again, 2020, you get Chip Kelly, you go through 2-3 years of that BS. He jettisons the entire team.
Man, even as a Cowboys fan, I'm like, look at that surgery. That's gotta hurt. Oh,
dude,
man.
it was almost like the Cowboys hired him to go into the team
hack,
and get rid of everybody.
I thought he did for a second. I'm like, man, I like our payroll. We're getting serious. Screw big TVs. We're putting hits out. Wow.
Yeah. But I think that again, without Chip Kelly, do you get a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Think of it that way. I mean, hindsight, 2020, right? It's all revisionist history. So, in my mind, for my money, if I had to say one way or the other, I would say that Andy Reid would have eventually won a Super Bowl.
I mean, you could halfway argue he did, because Dougie P kind of came up under Andy too.
Right. But do you think he's going to win another one in Kansas City?
Almost did.
Almost.
What Super Bowl did you watch?
Well, he got to the dance. I mean, I guess you could give him that much.
Right to the prom, and then I stopped watching because
he just never got off the wall. No girls wanted to dance with him.
Yeah, he was too busy eating cheeseburgers.
He was definitely there.
And to say, well, one thing, like Ralph was saying, revisionist history, think about back to, I mean, what he did with the Eagles with McNabb at quarterback and absolutely zero receivers until T.O. came for 1 year. And the Eagles were relevant the whole time. I mean, obviously their defense was really good, but they were still able to score enough with people to stay in the mix every year for 6-7 years straight, at least.
Campbell's made soup commercials with them left and right.
I mean, to me, like when I look at those teams that you guys were just talking about, like with the Cowboys, it always seemed to me that they underachieved with their talent, and the Eagles always overachieved with their talent. Does that be a fair statement?
Do you have a comparison?
Okay, yeah, actually I do. So earlier I was going through some things, right? And I was looking basically since 2000, because we all know the Cowboys were amazing in the 90s. I don't really need to go through all that. Since 2000, the Cowboys have had 10 winning seasons and 10 losing seasons. 13 times during that span, they were the 15th best offense in the league, or worse, in points scored.
Ain't that shit depressing? I know. It's hard.
3 times they were in the top 3 worst offenses in the entire league. 7 times they were in the bottom half of the league in yards gained by offense.
But we had the best hot dog sales that year. It was great. The best.
12 times the defense was in the bottom half of the league in terms of points scored against them. 9 times they were in the bottom of the league in terms of yards their defense gave up. 1 time they were the absolute worst team in the league in terms of yards against. their defense, and that was in 2013.
We call that draft picks. We do that on purpose.
So since 2000, the Dallas Cowboys have 7 times been in the playoffs. They have lost 5 times in the divisional round, and they lost 2 times in the wild card round, right? So in that same span of time, the Eagles 6 times were in the bottom half of the league in terms of points scored. 7 times were in the bottom half in terms of yards put up by their offense. Never, ever, just kidding, in the bottom 3 in terms of points scored. 15 times they were in the top half of the league in terms of yards put up by offense. 10 times they were in the bottom half of the league in terms of points scored against. 9 times they were in the bottom half for yards against their defense. 1 time in the bottom 3 teams in terms of yards against. In that same span of time, they were in the playoffs 13 times. They won 1 Super Bowl. Thank Jesus. They 4 wild card losses, 3 divisional round losses, and 4 conference championship losses. Paul knows what that's about. To me, if I read through those stats, that's what I get from that. Out of all of the talent and all of the money and all the moves that Jerry Jones has made with that team, they have still underperformed. Where with the Eagles, I think you could say, how many times did they roll up to the NFL season with a damn near dumpster fire, and they still found a way to put that team together? So that's kind of, to me, I mean, obviously I'm biased, but that's to me what my example is.
Okay, so you guys have sounded off on the coaches there. Jose,
Yeah.
Jason Garrett, he was there for 12,000 years.
Clappy. I love Clappy. Go ahead. I love this guy.
Okay, so we'll go with Jason. We'll go with Jason Garrett.
To cuss out on the sidelines. So many years. Go ahead, Clappy. Oh, interception. There we go. Here it is. There it is. Go ahead. What we got about Clappy? What's the matter with Clappy?
All right, so everything. That's the point.
Oh, I know.
So, I mean, I think you could say every coach, since Jimmy Johnson, excluding Bill Parcells, I think has been more or less a failure in Dallas.
You could argue that about a lot of teams, though. You're trying to convert me, but that's common.
What's common? To have 25 years of mediocre coaching?
Bears, the Dolphins.
Hey, you can't include the Bears in that. The Bears are not an NFL franchise.
We really got to go around. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, gets kind of common. New England, now that Tom Brady said, F you, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not really far off.
The Bears made it to a Super Bowl with Rex Grossman.
The Eagles only have 1 Super Bowl. I mean, this is not uncommon, like, to go through ups and downs, or, to wait till an owner dies, whatever.
Okay, so we've got, obviously it's skewed 3-1 here, but who's the worst owner between Lurie and
Jerry? Are you kidding me?
You think Jerry's the worst owner?
You can't take that gold medal from us. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Dude, we got the geriatrics crew up there in the box controlling every single thing. I could call a play in from my iPhone. Get out of here. It's again, every Cowboys fan's like, we have the talent, we have it. We sometimes have the coaching. We just have a guy who can't see the field anymore on the TV bigger than the stadium. So when he finally passes away and gives his money to his daughter, whoever the hell takes over, you will see us go to a championship. And it's pretty much all the hope we have left on the field.
I thought it's his son that's already basically running everything, but it's Jerry's just in name. He's still the pseudo guy,
Yeah, but listen, I mean, do you think Jerry Jones is sitting there looking at his son going, "Go ahead, princess, you can make the decision here"? Do you really think that's Jerry what Jerry does? No. Jerry grabs the belt and he's like, "Look, I'm gonna give you a welt unless you keep Jason Garrett for another year."
Jerry goes, "Listen, Junior, this is how it's gonna go, or I don't pay your allowance. Done." And he goes, "All right, you don't gotta be so mean to me, man. You could just send an email and could have did that for you. It's fine." You don't understand. It's very mobster ran, and as a Cowboys fan, you know this.
So you don't feel like, with all the time that you guys spent with Jason Garrett, that any other team would have jumped off of that coach earlier?
My dude, listen, they got me an actual member of the Star Wars cast. They got me an actual Ewok as a running back. All right. And this guy has magic powers and can run through walls, my dude. And we could not get a ring. Something's wrong. I'm like, who's up there doing something?
Who do you think the Ewok is?
Oh my God. Are you serious? You don't see the resemblance?
Between who and an Ewok?
Ezekiel
Elliott.
Ezekiel Elliott, my dude. For real?
Oh,
Like he's from the movies.
No. You think Zeke is good?
Oh my God. Are you for real? Yes, he has talent. He does.
Really?
Yes.
Do you know how to count, or do you know what numbers are?
I do know how to count in 3 languages you could say without holy water. Amen, Reverend.
We've been going back and forth about this for a little while on the podcast because I think it was last year. I basically said that he's done, and then Paul was giving me crap about it, and then now Paul's kind of come over to my camp. I said he left his heart in Cabo. And since
I told you he left his heart in Columbus.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah. So Paul said he left his heart in college. I said he left his heart in Cabo. And since then, he's never been the same guy.
I don't know. He gave me a lot in the first season. It was very promising. Then he showed promising second season when he got into trouble with the law. That's always a Dallas Cowboy, thing. We're like, okay.
That's a tale as old as time.
Yeah,
you got Michael Irvin, Nate Newton.
you don't. Right, exactly. You don't make the cut unless you got a charge. You got to. It's part of being a fan. You got to realize these things come with bail. So I mean,
is that built into the contract? Like, we will bail you up to this much, or?
Yeah, it's Texas, bro. For real. Guns. Hello, Texas. Yeehaw! Hi, buddy. For real. Yeah, built into the contract.
Get you some hookers and cocaine.
I keep saying it's mafia red. He's not getting it.
All right. So, what do you think about the Cowboys' salary cap for the next foreseeable future?
I didn't know we had one. There's a salary cap? What's that?
It's the one thing that has the Cowboys bent over to the kitchen table and is calling you, good girl, it's going to be okay. No, it's not. The Cowboys, they're well over next year's salary cap, no matter what it ends up being. What?
Stop. What? No one sees that. What cap? Come on.
Even if it goes up, say
everything's bigger in Texas. Everything. Even me. Everything.
You're 5'4". You're not bigger anywhere except China.
Watch me fly over Texas at 30,000 feet. I'll be the biggest there. Don't worry about it. I'll be there.
Having lived in Texas, no, you won't.
You got to look up. You got to look up. You're just not. You're looking forward. Up.
Look, if you don't clap your hands immediately following the stars at night are big and bright, you got nothing on Texas. Nothing on Texas. But let's say the salary cap goes up $10 million next year. You guys are still $20 million over what it would be without the draft picks for this year or next year, without free agency. I think they're going to end up having to get rid of their best receiver, if not two, in Gallup and Amari. Between the two of them, you can say I think it's about $25 million. But I think that the Cowboys are pretty well screwed. What do you think about Dak's contract? Are you happy that they paid him? Sad that they paid him?
All right, so you're asking me a lot of questions at once, bro. I'm not gonna be.
They're all about money. How do you feel about money?
You gotta station it in stages here, bro. Like, question A.
Don't tell me my business, devil woman.
Damn it. Keep it real. So look, this is how this is gonna go. $20 million. Has anybody seen what Jerry Jones's yacht looks like? Yes or no? If you have it, Google it. And you're going to know that old man is going to cut people so fast. And it's going to suck horribly. And we're going to have a very similar year to what we have. But the guy can't live forever.
So really the only reason that you are currently a Cowboys fan is on the hope that someday Jerry Jones dies.
And I can't stand the Eagles. I like watching them lose. They gave me a lot of glory in the 90s. I got to wear starter coats and shades and give middle fingers, bro, talk shit. It was great. It was remarkable. And I got to live it. And I got to see Green Bay. You would think I would hate Green Bay. I'm starting to think I should hate Green Bay.
Hey, Jose.
I just can't bring my way around it, though. They're talented. They got that quarterback's got great hair. Like, I don't know.
Jose.
Yeah.
If I can interject here. Do you own a VHS player?
No, I got all my shit upgraded, so all my Super Bowls are now upgraded to Blu-ray.
Oh, good. I'm glad you can watch your VHS on, upgraded DVD quality.
But don't worry, I had all of your years sent to you in mail. You'll get that, so you get to watch all your losses too in quality. I even made sure they were in color. Enjoy your 1 year
in Technicolor.
Yeah. Hey, no tracking button for you, big guy. Only the best. Only the best.
All right. So when do you think the Cowboys are legitimately going to be contenders?
All right. A serious answer to that? You're probably looking at another decade before they're even something for real.
So you don't think that Dak at all gets them close to anything?
No. When Dak went, when you did it, anybody, please tell me, gentlemen, as a human being, y'all saw that injury on TV. There ain't no way in hell that dude's. Yes, I don't give a damn whose team you play for. You are not coming back nowhere near what you were after that kind of injury. I mean, that's it. That's it. That's it. They're starting all over again. That guy, he's gonna come back. He's gonna give it all. He's gonna try. He's gonna play that ankle protected hard. He's gonna be half of what he was. And, and that's it. They're gonna have to rebuild again. I hate to say it, but that's again. That's our thing.
Still,
it's our thing. Every year, it's our thing. I mean, even if you Google it, it's our thing. It's always next year. It's our thing.
Well, you always start the year thinking you're going to win the Super Bowl, and then by the end, it's we'll get them next year.
No, man.
Wait, are we talking about Eagles fans or Cowboys?
Yeah, I was gonna say, B, you better knock that shit off. I haven't thought that way in like 20 years. Oh, yeah. I look at the Cowboys-Eagles schedule, and I plan out how many nights I'm gonna get drunk. That's about as close to Super Bowl glory. I'm gonna count like that's gonna be a loss. I'm gonna get drunk. That's gonna be a loss. I'm gonna get drunk. Hey, look, we play each other. We're both gonna get drunk. That's great.
So what do you think about like guys, like as you mentioned, it's kind of expected. What do you think about guys like Stephen A. Smith that's basically made an entire sportscasting career by talking about how much the Cowboys suck?
Well, I mean, there's a bunch of them. Some of them we own. Look, I loved Troy Aikman, but as a commentator, you know how many times I wanted to punch that tall dude in the face? I'm like, say one of my players suck one more time, my dude. How many rings do you have? But I mean,
3.
I know. I saw them all. It burns me up when he does it. But I mean, the truth is what the truth is. I mean, these guys played on an amazing team, and now we're looking at a shit show. So
really quick, I just want to make sure I have this on the podcast. Can I just say, did I hear that correctly? That a Cowboys fan also agrees that Troy Aikman and Joe Buck suck in the booth?
Oh yeah, I love hearing what's his face though. I couldn't stand him. Oh man,
Romo.
I couldn't stand his.
Did you forget Tony Romo's name?
That's how much I couldn't stand him. And everybody who truly knows me, I called that guy handsome all his entire career. I'm like, he was good for an interception. I complained every game. But as a commentator, this guy's amazing. He's like, look, they don't even see the blitz. That guy's going to be on his ass. Bam! See, told you. I mean, he's great. I love watching him. As a quarterback, I wanted to throw something through my television.
So what are your thoughts on him being up for the Hall of Fame this year?
I'm like, well, who said that? Who gave that guy that right? Listen, just because you played football, don't give you the right. I don't care how many passes. You didn't get nothing. You didn't get me nothing. You gave me. I didn't even get. Bro, where's my high hopes? I didn't even get the ant and the rubber tree plant. I got the ant. That was it. Like and he gave us nothing. False hopes. I don't think he's got the right to be in it.
No, he gave me a lot of good memories.
Yeah, me too.
I know. Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks.
Hey, remember when he was the holder for that field goal that one time?
Oh my God!
Wait. Do you remember when he got injured in the preseason?
Oh my God!
Which time?
Now you see why I called him handsome, right? I'm like, oh yeah, go ahead. There he is again, right on his back. Look how handsome he is, right there. Look at him. It's like prom date. Oh, I hated that guy so much. My wife truly enjoyed that player on my team. She did. Oh, she got a lot of happiness out of that.
I really miss him and Jason Garrett together.
Oh, Clappy. Oh, my God, bro. You should. Guys, I had so many years where I thought I was going to take medication just to watch the Cowboys play between Clappy and that guy. I'm like, come on, for real, guys. Oh, God, it got so bad. It got so bad. When Clappy was trying to side clap other players on the field and they were just walking by him, like, bro, for real. Like he was Ted Cruz and shit. It was so sad. Oh, God. Oh.
So, I mean, it sounds like there's just been, for the last, 20 years, quite a bit of misery for you as a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, well, that's part of football. Hockey, golf, you name it.
No, I mean, you talked about ebbs and flows. There was one ebb and the rest, or one flow, and the rest has been ebbing for quite a bit of time for you.
Yeah,
and he said for at least another decade. Yeah. I got to respect the fact that you're still a fan. I don't understand why. I don't think that you're a great fan because you don't seem to know much about the Cowboys aside from that. One guy was named Clappy and you had a Tony that dropped something sometime. But, respect.
You got to love the sport all the way around, man. I mean, Jason Garrett, you want to give him respect? Fine. He somebody in our franchise and got his win.
It's pronounced Jerry Jones.
So when you do things like that, you get names like Clappy. You don't get respect. You know what I'm saying? You don't get respect. You following me? Good. So I'm still a Cowboys fan, man. Die hard blue. I haven't gone nowhere.
How do you feel about Clappy 2.0 then? Because now you got Mike McCarthy. You got the latest stooge that's in there for you guys so that Jerry Jones can make sure he gets the team run the way he wants. Do you have any faith? I mean, it doesn't sound like you do since you said a decade, but
bro.
Do you think
can't have false hopes? I don't have false hopes. The war is not over, bro. If you're going to be a Cowboys fan and eat it, you got to prepare for the long haul.
Well, really quick. Wait.
2.0 is going to be here.
Well, hang tight, really quick. It's weird to me because as an Eagles fan, I'm prepared for probably 2 shit years. I'm not thinking a decade. Are the either one of you other 2 guys thinking it's going to be a decade before the Birds get their shit? I hope the not. It's not a decade.
So listen. All right. So listen. You guys got to realize I'm old as shit here. So back in the day when they won, Super Bowls, it was like glory be found great. I look at football totally different nowadays, man. Football's supposed to be fun. It's a game. It's supposed to be enjoyed. And you know what? A lot of my friends hate my team. And you know what? They got a lot of goddamn good reason to. Because, they do some weird shit. I'll be the first one to say it. But you know what? Sometimes their team does too. And it's a lot of fun to go back and forth. And I've noticed over the years that my hate towards teams really diminished, and the love for the game and just to be there and see all the different colors and the shit talking that goes down, and then saying, "All right, bro, see you tomorrow."
I don't think the rivalries are as bitter now as what they were when we were younger.
Oh no, man! It was like, "I'll kill you." Now you're like, "Papa, you want to be the worst team? Do you want the conference? No, I lost. You want it? No, we lost. Hey, you want it? No, I lost." You're like, "Dude, anybody want it? Hey, Washington, you got a name? Nah, screw it. You take it."
I mean, let's just even take it outside of our conference. Let's just talk about in sports in general. I mean, I remember for me, the biggest example of that is the Yankees. When I was growing up, it was easy to hate the shit out of the Yankees.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just I don't think that they have the players that draw the vitriol from the fans, like the Derek Jeters and the A-Rods and those guys who kind of leaned into it a little bit, in my opinion. I mean,
I don't care.
I get it, and I still don't like them, and I still love watching them lose. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it wouldn't be a great postseason without watching the Yankees get eliminated. But I feel like, to me, I don't have as much that hate in my heart as I did when I was younger, where it was man, I really got so much enjoyment out of that. So I wonder what it is about that a little bit with sports, because I do feel like when we were younger, and maybe it's just my perception as a child.
Yeah, no, you're spot on, man. I was angry.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like with the sports in general, it was way more red versus blue and whatnot.
I think it's more everyone is trying to pacify things. And for me, the biggest example isn't in baseball or hockey or football. I think you have to go to the NBA.
I thought you were going to say participation trophies. Sorry.
No. Surprisingly, I didn't go that far. But if you look at the NBA in the 80s, you got bitches throwing fists every other game. I mean, and nothing happened. They're still there. Now, if you watch the NBA, if someone looks at someone for too long, they get teed up. That is, I mean, that's the perfect example as to how sports aren't what they used to be.
Well, Brandon, how many times have we compared hockey to every other sport? You know, guy gets his teeth busted out, he's back in the game. Stitches back in the game. Guy breaks a finger, he's out of a football game.
Yep. And growing up, when I played baseball,
hold on. Breaks a finger and he's out of a football game. Unless you're talking about a quarterback, that's not the case. And even if you are talking about a quarterback, Drew Brees just played a game last season with 11 broken ribs. Tony Romo 1 year play with a punctured lung.
3 letters, JPP.
It was an example. All right,
it was a poor example. It was a very poor example. You're better than that.
You can't make poor examples around Paul. He will shit on you.
Hell yeah!
Apparently, he's like, but they play with concussions. I'm like, these guys eat pucks. I don't know, dude. I'm just saying.
I do think it's weird that a baseball player gets a concussion. He's out for 6 months. You know, same with like Sidney Crosby in the NHL. But in football, he gets a concussion. You know, he's supposed to sit out the rest of the game. He's back 2 minutes later.
Pretty sure they have 10s, protocol concussions, yada, yada, yada. They get paid more money. I mean, yeah, man up.
I would argue that football players are underpaid, but okay.
Underpaid?
I think Jose.
Did you say underpaid? Football players are underpaid?
Football players are very underpaid if you look at what they generate versus other sports and their salaries.
Basketball and baseball make way more money.
They have way more guaranteed money, yeah.
Absolutely.
Way more guaranteed money in baseball.
And they're not as physical sports either. So.
Aside from hockey.
It's hard
but they don't get paid anything, and they'll play with no teeth.
It's hard.
That's because they need a 12-pack and a pizza after the game, and they're good.
I still remember Dan Carcillo from the Flyers waited until after his career was over to get his teeth fixed, and it was at the Preston and Steve show. I think he like kissed Marissa or something, and like his dentures came out or some shit. Like it's got to be like your life as a hockey player. It's just got to be different. Like shit, yeah, I got fake teeth until my career's over.
So Jose, I think I have a solution to your drought as a NFL fan and having a team that has any kind of success. And I think I know who your good luck Chuck should be. Right? You ready for this? Your good luck Chuck.
Good luck Chuck. Yeah. All right, go ahead.
He's always a bridesmaid, never a bride. You know, that kind of guy. Ready? How about you guys hire Chip Kelly?
You know what's up? Somebody actually said that to me recently, and I was like, yo, please don't say that to Jerry Jones, because he might actually scratch his head. He might be like, you know what I need? I need a hatchet. Somebody's just going to just cut people when I want them to. And he would work out well.
I think if Jerry still had it in his heart to be like that, though, I think Dak would have been gone. The fact that they re-signed Dak at this point, I mean, granted, the money's decent in the Cowboys' favor, but
I honestly don't think Jerry's running the show like he used to either. I think his son's doing a lot of it now.
I think his son probably has way more say in it than probably what he used to, but I'm sure if Dad feels a certain way about something, he probably gets a say.
Oh yeah, how else does he afford that yacht?
I mean, what do you think, Jose? Do you think that he just kind of sits on the sidelines more these days, or do you think he still has a lot of say? I mean, you said you basically feel like the man has to die before you get your franchise back.
Yeah, I hate to say it, that's how it is. Since he fired Jimmy, he was like, dude, I don't know, over his haircut, I guess. I mean, the guy got you freaking 2 Super Bowls. He fired him.
I mean, he walked
on him, but
is that not the worst move that he made?
God.
How many more do you think that they would have had if Jimmy stayed?
I can't even tell. I don't even want to think about it.
I think
minimum 2.
Minimum. Yeah, because the fact alone that Jimmy knew college so well and all the college players so well, he'd just come out of coaching the U, didn't he?
Yeah, dude, he could have. It was easy. Oh, man, they could have made such easy. But it is what it is. You know, like I said, and from that point forward, he's been kind of pulling the strings. And if it doesn't go his way, it just doesn't go his way. But it wasn't always like that. It won't always be like that, you know, so.
I want to know what steroids the players were on at the U, because if you guys have watched the 30 for 30s on the U.
There's 2 of them, and they're amazing.
They're fantastic. they had to hold back. I forget who it was. It was a linebacker. They had to hold him back at Florida State because he wanted to punch out the horse that the mascot was riding on. And another time they were playing, it was either Auburn or LSU because it was a tiger, and they put their hands inside the cage and were like teasing the tiger, like Gucci Gucci goo. Like, what were those guys on?
I think it's different when you have that mentality of like when you had that class of people that came before you that were so talented and you just keep repeating that over and over and over again. And you have all of those people there watching the games, and you know that those players knew when they had a bad game that those alumni were going to make them aware of it. So that to me, I feel like really helped push that team so far. And I mean, there was just the whole community of people in Florida got behind them because they really did draft a lot of the guys that lived in the backyard of that college. That to me was what I think was a lot of it, the mentality that standard of play that those alumni held those people to, and the fact that they had those coaches that just did not give a that just went in there about like, I'm going to run up the score as much as humanly possible.
Where'd Dion go to school? FSU?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with. I watch a couple of comedians pretty regularly. One is Bert Kreischer, one's Tom Segura.
I hear that you're the machine.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yes. So Bert and Tom do a podcast called Two Bears, One Cave, but Tom also does like a little side thing on his own called Tom Talks. And he had Deion Sanders on, and Deion was talking about being in college at FSU, and I don't know who the coach was at the time, so forgive me for butchering this story. But
if it's FSU and it was Deion, it's Bobby Bowden. He coached there for like 35 years, and then the NCAA took away like 12 of them.
Right. So at one point, he was talking about a coach he had. I don't know if it was Bowden or not. It might have been somebody else. But he's talking about a coach he had and how brutal he was to the players. And he tells a story about how this coach tells another player on the team that his dad should have caught him in his hand.
Wow.
Oh, that's rough.
I've never laughed so hard at anything Deion's ever said.
He said that to Deion or just to someone else?
He said that to a kid on the team.
Oh, wow.
Like, I guess the player was, screwing up or something or whatever, or was dumb or, dumb to this coach or whatever. But he was like, your dad should have caught you in his hand.
I still always, with those types of stories, I always think of the Peyton Manning story. I don't remember who the guy was, but when Peyton threw him the ball and he dropped it, and the next play, the coach calls a play, and the guy comes back in, and Peyton's like, no, get the hell off the field. You're not back out here for another play. It's like, the coach said I was allowed to be out here. He's like, I don't give a crap what the coach said. Get on the sideline. I was like, wow. And Peyton Manning can be like, no, I don't care what he said. Get over there.
That's messed up. You're not worthy. Back off.
Yeah. I feel like with football, I feel like those stories are a little more abundant than within other sports, but maybe they just talk about it a little bit more than the other ones do.
Well, that's why I wish that they would have I don't want to call it like a Hard Knocks, but a Hard Knocks style TV show where it's unedited.
Are you talking about Tannis's show on Letterkenny, basically?
I guess in a sense, but like having it, just getting behind the scenes. I don't care about play calls or anything like that. I want to hear what the offensive line is saying to the defensive line during the game, and I want to hear it unedited. I want to hear the shit talk. I want to hear the back and forth. I want to hear the behind the scenes. I want to hear in the locker room. I want to hear everything.
That's what pissed me off so much about when everything happened with the Big C, that they piped in all the crowd noise. I wanted to hear. I thought for a change, we'd actually get to hear all that stuff. You got it a little bit with hockey, but they still piped in a lot of noise with them too. And it's just like, dude, just let it be what it is, and then let it be weird for that 1 year, and let us see what it's like. Why do we have to put in the fake noise?
Speaking of hearing everything on the field or on the ice in this case, but Brandon, did you hear about the referee that basically got let go in the NHL because during a game he told a player that he wanted to get a penalty on Nashville early or something like that, and he was either caught on a hot mic or caught on, because there's nobody in the stands.
All right, and so to be fair, the guy only had a month left in the NHL and he was retiring, and it was a hot mic.
Okay. but still, you're like, you would think that you'd be a little more careful when there's no fans in the stands.
I think in any time when you're doing something nefarious, talking about it out loud is a dumb thing to
dumb. Yeah. I thought I was alone, B. I was just like, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to do exactly what that guy should have said. Shut the hell up. The hell are you talking about it for? Oh, man, you're not on my team. You're off.
You mean like how Jared Goff, texted someone on his team that, hey, I want to pipe Sean's fiance?
Yeah, it's not a good idea to tell people on your team that you want to bang your head coach's fiance.
No, it's not a good idea to put it in writing.
Exactly.
Right? Saying something, you can say that's hearsay, but if it's in writing, you idiots.
What part of it's like ran by a mafia did you not get when I said that? That keeps coming up. Yo, it's like a kingship there. You got to follow the Godfather.
So you're saying that McVay's the godfather of the Rams?
Listen, yeah, kind of. Let's just be real. Probably.
I feel like with everything that we've had going on so far, it's been fun, but I don't know if we're going to sway him in the sense of,
oh no,
if he's willing to sit through 30 years of mediocrity, that's pretty tough, gentlemen.
Yeah, 38, but yeah.
Oh no, he's hopeless. He's a lost cause.
Oh yeah,
he's never going to see another Super Bowl, and it'll be fun. But hey, he's a lost cause. I respect the lost cause. I respect it because he ain't a bitch.
There it is.
But I'm just saying, you're never going to see another win. But I'm glad you're not a bitch.
But I saw 3.
Is Marcellus Wallace a bitch?
I wouldn't say it to his face.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't say it to his face.
Go ahead. He's right there. Say it to him. Go ahead. Hey,
what do you guys think was in that briefcase? That's what I want to know.
What's in the box?
OJ's gloves.
Jose, man, you've had your first time on the Muffed Punt podcast. We are a little bit of an unruly bunch, but we are happy to have you here. It's interesting because we had 3 Birds fans, 2 Packers fans, and now we've had a Cowboys fan on the show. Did we scare you away, or do you want to come back on at some point?
Well, no. I say we let him back on when the Cowboys make the playoffs.
You can't. Well, that's not really hard to do. We just can't win once we're there.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, it's really hard. Well, no, I mean, we gotta get somebody else because I mean, Green Bay has again. I don't have any real bad blood. It's always been fun, and they've always whooped our behinds. I mean, it's the same. My kid got so hell-bent over the last 4 or 5 years. I kind of laughed. I'm like, bro, look up the team and watch that history. It's like watching the same stuff. And I live with an Eagles fan, so every year World War whatever breaks loose, and I love her because she's great. But it is what it is. And the history of the teams are so much. So, is there anybody that knows a Giants fan? I would love to talk to one of them.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I've got a friend who's a Giants fan from North Jersey, so I might be able to talk him into it.
Because I don't have any friends that are Giants fans.
I know a Giants fan that hates Paul's guts, so we might be able to get him.
No, I'm pulling rank. That dude is not allowed here ever. This is my happy space. We ain't doing that shit here.
He had like the worst sports flex talk. It was hilarious. He'd come up to me and be like, "Did you hear they traded Fletcher Cox?" And I'm like, "Get that out of my face, dude. I don't want to talk to you."
Gosh.
Well, I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. It was a lot of laughs, which is always good. I want to thank Ralph for showing up. I know he's been absent the last couple of weeks, but we do appreciate your time, bud. And Terry as well, and Paul. And thank you, Paul, for taking some time to get your Cowboy stuff together so you give Jose the old what's for. And,
it would have been nice if he would have been a real fan and had any idea what I was talking about. But all he said was, Jerry sucks. Let's kill Jerry. I want to kill Jerry. There's Clappy. I see Clappy. Romo.
Bro,
Hickman's a bad commentator.
If you go through the years, okay, the team started in the 60s. They sucked ass to 66. Then they were all right in 67. They jumped. We get the first Super Bowl to 71. Then we had a lot of prayers and high hopes. We cruised through. We made it one more Super Bowl. We hit the 90s. We picked up 3 more Super Bowls. We had a great squad. It was great. We had Hall of Famers, Emmitt Smith, rock stars, people that could do amazing things. And then we turned into a cesspool of shit. Kind of like your points of view. But it's cool.
I thought he was going to go for an Eagles burn there, and then he made it personal. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying. You can't hate it. I can't hate the Eagles. I just can't believe after they dissected their team, it just my hate for them went right with it. I'm like, damn. It's like watching a puppy commercial where they hit that Celine Dion song or some shit and ask for 50 cents. You know?
I don't know how you could hate the team that since they won the Super Bowl has basically done their best Dallas Cowboys impersonation pretty much since they won the Super Bowl.
I know. I'm like, yo, guys, it's not a good book to read. It's a light read. Don't do it.
There's not much depth to the story.
Yeah,
you know?
I just broke it down for Yucatan there, who says I don't know my history. I'm like, Papa, there's not much to know. What
You know, it's
the same
Mayans
shit.
ain't from the Yucatan, bitch. Those are the Aztecs.
Well, you'll get there one day. Keep playing Age of Empires, damn it. Shit.
It's a good game. I hope they make another
Doing your
one.
rain dance.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to another episode of the Muffed Punt podcast. If you're still here, thank you. If we haven't scared you away up to this point or offended you deeply some way, somehow. But if you're still here, make sure you hit like, make sure you subscribe. And we'll be back again next week. Let us know in the comments section if you're a Cowboys fan, how you felt like Paul did and letting you know how things went. And we'll go from there. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. Take it easy now.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 double digit. That means in 16 years, 12 of those years, you haven't even won 10 games. But you have the audacity, the temerity, the unmitigated gall to call yourself America's team and sit there sticking out your chest, bloviate, talking about, oh, we love the haters. You know why y'all have haters, Dallas Cowboys? You know why? And I'm not talking to the fans because you got great fans. I'm talking to the Dallas Cowboys organization. Do you know why you have haters? You want to talk about what y'all are, but y'all ain't anything. I mean, I'm sorry, wasn't it the Giants that spanked y'all in the last game of the regular season 2 years ago before winning the Super Bowl? RG3 on a bum leg, a one-legged RG3 who spanked y'all when the season finale. You know why? Because there's always something, whether it's Des Bryant, whether it's Tony Romo looking like a politician with his family and also getting his contract, $55 million in guaranteed dollars for what? Watching the playoffs with Skip Bayless and Stephen A. That's what he's getting $55 million in guaranteed money for. I mean, this is ridiculous. The Dallas Cowboys stink. They are an average team, if not less than that. And the fact that we have to sit here and talk about them because they're so hated or so loved because Skip Bayless swears they're America's team is something that disgusts me.